I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but the title is basically where I am to start. I don't wish to make a live stream in the slightest, other than the situation's so bad. I haven't got anything to lose but to try. As I said in the previous live stream, I'm disgusted at humanity, the collective psychosis specifically, and my life. I'm not in Guantanamo Bay, I'm in London, one of the most affluent cities in the world, and yet as a result of well, I'm not going to say problems or anything like that. It's a collective consensus to really cause me misery. I was just asking myself, am I the reincarnation of Judas? Because the suffering, and I'm going to be doing a bit of DIY at the same time. The suffering is so painful, it's so confusing. It would have to be something along those lines, and with all the pressure of late for me to believe I'm Jesus, I'd say it was more likely that my life is pointing to the fact that I'm Judas. So, sorry Jesus, and this is a sincere sorry, because the pain is that much. I'm not going to take the piss from a personal perspective. I'm sorry Jesus, if I was Judas and I sold you out, I sold the world out for a bag of gold, please forgive me. I don't know what my reasoning was, what my thinking was, but in this life I've never harmed a soul, never harmed a human being, despite all the punches I've taken in my life. So I'm sorry. I would have been a different person, a different life, a different mindset, a different heart, a different energy. So I can't say any more than sorry. But you being the master of love, surely you would have known, and you kind of did. That's the whole Last Supper and the story there, that you knew you were gonna die. And I can only imagine the master of love would be able to forgive such a cruel, unjust action towards you. But like this life which I've tried to live by love, where it's my heavily, how can I put it, it's heavily it features heavily in my astrological chart, at the very least. And I've gone the way of spirituality, so it's been emphasized. But my ears right now, I'm surprised I haven't cut them off. If it's not the pain as a result of whatever noise gets pumped out over the weekends, not by the nightclubs and bars and all of that, but by some other force in the world. Over the weekends I tend to get this noise in my ears that causes me physical pain, and the solution, what spirituality has decided for me, we're gonna put an unpleasant pressure in your ears to try to hide that noise. You're just painting over a tragedy like Judas did, really. He caused the tragedy in the world, and if I'm Judas, what can I do? No matter how much I apologise, it's never really going to be enough for the world, considering we've had to live through another 2,000 years of this ridiculous well, I'll leave it up to you to figure out what I mean by ridiculous when I talk about the world. Looking up at a plane putting out chemtrails. So all I can do is apologise. That was the past, but this is the present, and whatever soul is responsible for painting over a tragedy in terms of this life, unfortunately I'm still alive, so sorry isn't going to be enough. I kind of need the pain or this ridiculous pressure to stop. Both are as bad as each other. At least with the pain I've got a reference to something that's real. With this pressure, it's just like there's no point to life. There's no point to life, especially when you're aware that you're covering up a pain. So the pain isn't gone, it's just like a poor craftsman and what must be their attempt at mitigating my suffering. It's not working, and it's probably making the situation worse. At least I can pick up a live stream, the phone, on a Saturday or a Sunday and say, "Oh, yesterday was terrible. I heard this noise and it was causing me pain." This is just, well, it takes that away from me, doesn't it? So I don't know what's going on. I suspect it's something to do with the people and the weekend and sex. That's my suspicion. Because when most people hear of sex, I can only imagine most people are turned on, whereas I experience pain for several reasons. And if it's not the people thinking it in their heads, "Oh, it's the weekend, I'm going to go clubbing, I'm going to get laid, blah, blah, blah," on a mass, how can I put it, on a mass scale, because the energy of sex amplified by the energy of the mind, it spreads. I can only imagine it would spread. It would be heard. And if it's not the people, then it's probably some sort of mind control system tapping into the weakness of the people and their desire. I don't know where it lies, the blame, but this life is a misery. And I could be wrong there, but that's my suspicion. I'm just boxing in my new old batteries that I bought second hand. Could have got some that would have been about the same size, I guess, for the same price, brand new. But these are lithium instead of the other ones, which would have been lead acid. So there's about the same life in them. And to be honest, I was hoping I'd get a little bit more in terms of battery size to make it justifiable to go this route, but it didn't work out that way. But the whole point is to get them wired in. Without them being wired in, they're just well, I was going to say pretty decor, but annoying decor, because it's like having a PlayStation that your mum doesn't let you play with. What's the point? It's like torture, isn't it? Plus, this a little bit bigger than a PlayStation, and the boat isn't the biggest apartment in the world. So it would be annoying on that level too, but thanks to the realization that I'm in Terra, I've realized I've had to put together an action plan, because the terrors as a result of pain. Whether terrors as a result of pain, I know this is depressing, but you know, be in a place where you know something's depressing and you'd rather not, well, you'd rather not start, and then it's so depressing there's no way of painting over something so tragic. So my action plan finds me in this moment building a box under what was my bed. That's why it's such a mess. Actually, I say that's why it's such a mess. It's actually cleaner and tidier than it's been for a while. But I'm getting on with it, and I don't think I'm going to be sleeping on top of a set of batteries, especially when I can't. With my body in a good place, I'd find it annoying sleeping next to my mobile phone or near a plug socket. I'm that sensitive to electromagnetic fields. But I've been a little bit stressed now for about 14 years, and it hasn't affected me so much. Sunday, the sun's out. And the crows still haven't eaten me yet. I've been waiting for the crows to come and eat me now for a while. and I can't rely on the crows. I can't rely on what's his name? The director, Hitchcock. There was a hotel where I used to live. He was from that area. He made the movie The Crows, didn't he? So never seen it. Don't like horror movies, but I know the hotel. There's nothing here that's going to be positive. This side of the screen but I'm in terror, you know. I'm justified there, and I've been calling for help for quite a while. It's not come. I'm now in terror as a result of the people I don't have hope in hell. When you don't have a hope in hell, you're going to start trying to dress over the depressing sound coming out of your mouth and the message you're sending out there to the world, when you know it should be lighter, given what communication is meant to be. But I don't really care anymore. What is there to care about? I'm here apologising to Jesus that I might be Judas because of the pain and the confusion as to why I'm having to experience this pain. So I don't want to put anybody's Sunday down. That wasn't my intention at all. But I'm well aware if this can happen to me, it can happen to anybody else, and well, where I'm not able to monitor the tone or the message, at least I'm putting the message out there, because if it can happen to me, and I don't know what I've done wrong, then it can really happen to anybody. Unless it is because I'm Judas, and then it's going to happen to about 5 people, because the way reincarnation works is that Judas's life would have got split up into about 5 different people, but only one person is really responsible, that carries the soul. So it could be that that's me, or it could be some other poor fucker on the other side of the planet getting it a lot worse, and I'm just the one that's making the live streams because I don't know, it's my nature to complain. I guess it's what's in most people's minds. Mine is more a case of I'm alone. I find it hard to go out in the world because of my disabilities. I've been asking for help for a while, and you've all been pushing me away, making my life even harder. It just makes sense. I like technology. So there's another reason there as well. I won't share that one. You might start getting the wrong idea of me. You might think I'm a good person. But as we said, it is what it is. I have no idea what's going on in the world. I gave up on Russia and the Ukraine a while ago. around the time that I realised I was in terror. And it's as a result of the people, so what's the point sitting here saying the world's gone mad? We all need to do something. That's really what I've been saying. How can we be letting... Well, actually, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, how can the collective psychosis allow it to take place? That's what I'm really saying. Given that you're all meant to be spiritual, which is based in love on some level, compassion, service to humanity, compassionate mind, and you know, you're all awake more than me. That's why you're a collective. I don't know what the game is on your side. But you still let the war happen. You still let the tragedies happen. You still let the mass vaccinations happen from COVID. So God knows how long a game this is going to be played out for, if that's the level you're willing to hold back on any action with. But you know, we had the truckers in Canada show that they knew what was going to happen with their convoy stretching miles and miles, replicating what Putin was going to do in war a month or two later with his 40-mile long war convoy. It's like, what's the chances? Canadian truckers put up a protest and it looks exactly like how Putin's going to go to war with the Ukraine. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you're making me suffer like this, and you're aware of the future on some level. If ever somebody wanted to top themselves, it's now. But no matter how much I want to top myself, it's not going to change things. I've got as comfortable as I can be in terror. I've sort of accepted it. It makes it a little bit worse, but it makes it a little bit easier knowing where I am. So you know, for my voice, I apologise for that. I sincerely apologise, because I can't stomach how I sound at the moment. So fucking whiny. You know, if I had my normal voice, that would deal with a lot of the depressing tone of the video. Unfortunately, well, you all, again, the collective psychosis, are aware of why this is happening. If you're aware of why how Putin's going to go to war, I'm sure you know why I'm so whiny today. I haven't got a clue. So I'll go and look at the ducks later. That'll cheer me up, unless they're eating Hovis, and then I'll probably want to top myself a little bit more, because they shouldn't be eating Hovis. It's like, you look at the adult swans, where all the younger swans have orange beaks, or whatever they're called. The older ones are starting to go a bit grey, and you just think, it's all that Hovis you've been consuming over the years. And you look at all their legs, and they're maybe tagged by some caring organisation, I'm sure. But if you're a bird, you don't really want to be taken out of the water and tagged at all. Sounds like and I know I can be flippant at times, so please don't take this out of context, but what's the difference for a bird being put there as a number? You know, if they're just a number on a computer, they can be followed and monitored and everything else. I won't say what I was going to say, it was too wrong. That's the world we live in. So it could be worse, they could be me. But then again, we're all numbers on the system, aren't we? We've all got national insurance number and bank account number and all of that. It's not tattooed. No, I'm not. I apologise, it slipped out. I wasn't meant to say that. So I better end the live stream now, because nobody's going to be watching this, are they? Who's going to be listening to this depressed bastard complain about his suffering? People in the world have real problems. And I'll leave it there, but I'll give myself 1 minute to put in the last screw. Because nobody's listening.